Hi and smiles, everyone. Colleen here, and welcome. So today is the day we're going to start a bee journal. I have wanted to do a bee journal for quite some time, and life, as you know, if you have been following me, had sort of taken over. There was other things I had to deal with, so it's starting to calm down, and so I'm very excited because, again, I have wanted to do this for quite some time. So today we're going to work on the cover of our bee journal. So what I'm going to use is, I had, as you can see, it was Lucky Charms, a cereal box from when the girls were here. Excuse me. So I'm going to use that for a base for our cover, because as you can see, it's already got a spine built in. So I'm going to cut it down, and then we're going to cover it, and I'm going to use this fabric here. These two fabrics is what I want to use. So of course the honeycomb, and then the bee fabric here is what I thought I would use for this bee journal. I have some other bee fabric, but I'm going to save that for the next journal we do, because it's really pretty too, and it has some turquoise and things in it. But this one here is what we're going to do today. So first thing we got to do, of course, I don't want to make it this large. I'm going to cut it down. So I'm going to just get my cutter here, my big cutter I think I'll use. So I think I want to make it more the standard that I usually do. So what is this? This is about 7.5 up to the spine. So I want to cut it down to 6 inches. So 7.5 would be a 1/2 inch. So if I go right here on the 6th, I'll just line my spine up with it, and we'll cut down. And the same on this side, right? So we'll just get it lined up with the 6, and we'll cut it down like that. That's easy enough to do. And then, let's see, I think I need to even cut both these sides. It's rather, I think a 9 is going to be plenty. So this side, I'm just going to even it out, make it straight along here. So let's do that first. Okay, so that is pretty even. Yes. Okay, so this, I think we're going to make it a 9x6 journal. That's a really nice size when you're using 8.5 by 11 paper, which is copy paper size. So we're going to do that. Why does that seem like... That seems still a little bit crooked. I'm going to just straighten this a little more. I just am not happy with how that's looking. Let's make sure we got it all lined up correctly. We'll just do it one more time. See if yeah, that's better. Okay, so we're going to go 9 inches on this side. It still feels a little bit uneven to me. It really does. Okay, there, I got it now. All right, I know what might be the issue. It is this side that is not straight, maybe. Let's just check. Nope, that's pretty good. Okay, so we've done it where it is 6 inches on each of our sides, and then 9 inches tall, and then the spine. Okay, so that's all we need to do with that right now. Cut that down. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to cover this in this fabric. And I already cut this one in half. So what I want to do is I want to cover the front and the back with this fabric, just like this. Just like that. And that. Right? That's what I want to do. So I'm going to sew it. I'm going to zigzag around that. But in the front paw, I want to make a pocket and focal point. So let's just use, okay, we're going to get rid of this one for now, because I think what I'm going to have to do is do this pocket focal point before I sew it all together. All right, whoop. So I want to make sure that I get this pocket. I will show you what I mean. Okay, so I'm going to get back on camera a little better. There we go. All right, so I want to use this fabric and make a pocket, and I want it about like there, so that it is a focal point, but I want to wrap it around this to make it so that it has some sturdiness to it. So let's move this aside. Take this and we're going to cut. First of all, let's get this cut. So we're going to want it probably about this wide to do it. So we'll just tear that. Just like that. And then, let's see. I'm going to want it so that we can bring it over, wrap it. We're going to wrap it like a present, basically. So I think if we make it about here should be good. Okay. So that should be a good sized piece for this. There we go. So all I really need to do is tack this down, because I think I'm going to sew it as well. But let's get this covered, because it doesn't matter what side, because we're not going to be seeing it. So I'm going to just tack this down. Doesn't have to be absolutely perfectly glued. I just want a light covering, because like I said, I'm going to sew around it. So that should be good, just a very light one. And we'll get that on here. Just like that. Just smooth that down a little bit. And then I'm going to cut off the sides like you're wrapping a present. Hopefully I did not cut that too close. No, I didn't. I'm just roughly cutting it. I'm not being super precise with this because, again, I'll be sewing it. But you can do this same thing, and you could if you don't want to sew, it all could be glued. I just want to use a zigzag stitch and perhaps make it decorative too, right? With the stitch. Oh, that one I did not cut very good. But like I said, it doesn't matter because I'm just going to fold in the sides and then fold it down like that. So let's get the sides. Just make sure it's nice and flat, which it is. And then we'll just get the sides glued. I hope everyone's having a great day today. It's been beautiful here. So I'm very pleased with that. I like fall, early winter. I think it's got to be my favorite season of them all. Okay. There we go. All right, and then I'm just going to tack glue it down so it's like that. I might trim this a little better to make it a little bit closer. There. Same on this side, maybe. There we go. Now I want to tack this down pretty good, as in make sure the glue's far enough down, because I don't want it to be coming up when we get this into a pocket, right? We want to be able to slip in and out of this pocket quite easily. There we go. And then same thing on this side. We'll just glue it down. There we go. And then we're going to do the same on this side. I'm going to cut this a little bit. This is a little bit long. Doesn't need to be that long. Cut this side a little bit. Maybe this side too. There we go. And we'll get some glue on this. Oh, I should maybe put a little bit of glue on the edges here, just to help keep it tacked down. Actually, this is gluing down, this fabric is gluing down really well. There we go. So like I said, if you wanted to just glue the whole thing onto the cover, you certainly are not going to have to sew it after this point, but I'm going to sew it on. I think I'll like that. So what we're going to do is that's going to be sewn. This will be the front. So this will be sewn onto the front, just like that. So I'm going to take this to the sewing machine, and I'm first going to add my pocket. So I'm going to sew it on 3 sides. I'm going to make it a side pocket is what I'm going to do. And then afterwards, I'm going to, once this is sewed on, I'm going to add my back fabric for my inside cover. Just like, whoop, get a bunch of threads happening over here. Cut this off. These threads came when I tore ripped the fabric, not tore it. Anyways, so then the inside is going to be just like that. And then we will have the cover with our pocket. Now that I'm thinking about it, as I'm talking it through with you guys, I could always sew a pocket, and this will be wide enough. Yeah. So what I'm going to do as well, because I was going to make individual, but I think I can put it right across, and I'm going to make some inside pockets as well with this fabric, just along here is what I think I will do. So then we will have 2 pockets on the inside as well. Yeah, I think that would look really nice, wouldn't it, guys? So I'm just going to take this all to the sewing machine and get it all sewn up, and then we will continue on with decorating the front of our journal, bee journal. I'll be right back, guys, just in a second for you guys. Okay, I'm back. So I have gotten this fabric sewn all the way around. And what I did was I took my pinking shears, because I like that look, and I just cut around the outside of it, and that's the cover. And then this is going to be the pockets for the inside. So I just, as you can see, I used some yellow thread, which I think frames it really nice, using that thread. So that's going to just go along the edge, or the bottom, and we're going to form 2 pockets, right? Because we'll be putting our papers in the spine. And then on the front, which we're going to continue working on, I was going to sew this directly on here, but I had a thought when I was sewing that I wanted to do something slightly different. So we're going to glue, which is fine. So I want to put some of these metal corners on the sides, on the corners of this. I think it will look really good. So that's what we're going to do with that. And then these, I had picked these things out that I want to use on the cover. Here, I'm going to use this frame, but first, and I have 2 little bee charms here that I'm going to use as well. They were so cute, and they were little charms, and I just cut off the little circles, and I'm going to use those on the cover. So the first thing we need to do is get these corners on this soon-to-be pocket. So I'm just going to put those on. So I have this tool. It's like a pliers, but it has this protective stuff here. I forget what it's called, but I got it off of Amazon. If I recall, when I put this video up, I will link it below where I got it. But if you don't have a tool like this, all you need to do is when you put the put it on the corner, is use some paper and fold it around so that it does not mark your corner. That's what this is for, is so that you don't mark up the metal as you're putting it on, is what this tool does for you. But you can achieve the same thing. Before I got this tool, that's what I was doing, is you just need to put something between the plier, like a piece of paper. I imagine even if you were using fabric for like I have this leftover fabric, it would work as well, to just fold it over And when you go to squeeze it on, it will not mark the metal at all. So I just I think with this particular tool, I had gotten a gift certificate on Amazon, for Amazon, as a gift, and one of the things I got was this tool, because I thought I'd spoil myself a little bit when it was a gift. So that's what I did. Okay, that's good. Get the other two on here. There we go. So you just squeeze it a little bit is what I do. I do the middle, the very edge, and then I go and proceed around the corners and get it clipped down. Sometimes you will discover perhaps that your paper wasn't quite as square on the corner as you thought it was, so you're going to have to adjust it a little bit, but that's no big deal. There we go. So I hope, well, I'm sure I've said that before, that you're having a good day, and I hope you're crafting along with me. It's always fun to me is that when I'm in my craft room and I'm not filming, I do watch other crafters on YouTube. I just find it comforting and camaraderie feeling, stuff like that. Okay, so we got the corners on. So now what I want to do is I want to put that, let's see, I'll go this way maybe. Which way do I want to go? I don't think it really matters. So let's get this, well, shall we glue these on first and then glue the whole thing? So what I want to do, move this up, so I want to use this frame, of course, because of course it's got the honeycomb on it, and what it was a dye. I'm using wild honey for ink, and I'll probably be using it out throughout this book, but I thought it was perfect. I used it here on this particular image. And again, this was a die cut that I had with this stamp, and I thought it was perfect for the front. And as you can see, I edged around, and I used this honey, so I think I might do the same thing on our little frame here, is just slightly go around. I find it just adds some texture, and it will help lift it kind of off of the fabric. It gives it an edge, or a, you know what I'm trying to say, and it highlights it. That's what I want to do, is highlight it. So I'm just going to go around with this here. I do love inks for this, for sure. I use a lot of ink this way. I just find it highlights the image or whatever you're doing, and makes it stand out a little more from the background. I'm just gonna finish the inside. Yeah, I'm liking that. Gives it a little bit of texture and highlights everything, right? There we go. Okay, so we're gonna put that on there. I'm gonna move this out of the way for now, and we'll just concentrate on this. So what I want to do is use this Again, it was a die cut I had, so I just die cut out with some papers, some yellowy kind of papers that I had. I think it was scrap, to be honest, but I think it's going to be a little too long for this frame. Yeah, just a little bit. And I wanted to put it kind of side to side, I think will be what I would like to do. So let's just line this up the way we may want it, and then I can cut off the extra. So maybe have this coming here, and then I have these two charms, and this one is a tiny bee in flight. I thought would be kind of nice to put, so he's like flying to the honey jar, and then have the other one come off this corner and he's flying up. Isn't that cute? But do I want to tuck some of this underneath my frame so it looks like it's coming? No, I don't want to do that, but could we have part of it under here like that, and then have the bee coming? Nope, I think I like showing all the leaves, so we're just going to put it on the corner like that. So let's get this cut down a little bit, because it is a little bit large. Where's my scissors? Well, let's cut right along here. Just cut these little bits off. There we go. And maybe these little bits down here I'll cut off as well. There. That should work good. Okay, I think I'm going to have to do that glue method where we put some glue on paper and dip this in, because it is very, very thin. So this is what I like to do when I have, oh, let's make sure I don't lose my little charms. This is what I like to do when it is so thin, right? That to just take some glue, put it on some paper, because it's just way too thin even for my tiny little applier, this thing here. And this is just faster and easier, so I'm just going to spread it out a little bit. And then all I do is dip it in to the glue. Now this doesn't have to have a ton of glue on it. I don't mind if it lifts off a bit. It'll just, again, add some depth. Okay, I think that's going to be good. I just want to get it in the right spot in the middle here. So I think I'll just place it, and then I'll move the frame. I'll show you what I mean before I put it down. There we go. So just move that out of the way. And my hands are a little bit gluey, so let's press it down with this. I don't know where I put my, oh, there it is. I do have it nearby. I have a little spatula that I just got from the Dollar Tree to use for this very reason, is when I want to press things down that have glue on them. Okay, so then we're going to put on the frame. Now I might as well use up some of this glue. Well, maybe I'll use it on this. I will use up that glue. So we'll just get glue on the back of this one. Get lots of room for putting the glue on this, isn't there? I just refilled this, and I think I might have refilled it a little bit too much, because now it's a little harder to squeeze. I was trying to use up the end of the glue. That's what I was trying to do. And the bigger glue bottle, get all the glue out. So this was completely, utterly full. There was not a millimeter left. So I shouldn't have to refill this for quite some time. Whoop, we don't want to get it in that glue. This is Alina Tacky Glue, my favorite to use. I find it works well with paper, and it also works well, like you can see, on fabric and paper combined. So then I don't have to have two different, a fabric glue and a paper glue, right? This seems to work for both, so that makes it great. Okay, so let's get this down about like that. There we go. Perfect. All right, and now we want to put this on, and we're going to put this on in the corner here. So I'm going to try and use up this glue on the paper. I can always add more to the back, but then I'm not wasting this glue that I put on here. There. Let's get this little part here, because that will be tough to put glue on, wouldn't it? Okay, we need a little bit more. And this was a scrap piece of paper that I had printed something on the paper itself, and I wasn't happy with it, so I just used it to do my die cutting, because I knew that I would be gluing it down, so it wouldn't matter, right? So that's why I'm not wasting the paper that I used, because this was good paper. I had put it on. It was photo paper, and then I wasn't pleased. So it's a little more expensive of paper, so I didn't want to waste the paper. I'd already wasted some of the ink. So, okay. So let's get this on there. Just like, right about like, oh, I gotta move over a little bit, I think. Yeah, let's move over a little bit. Okay. All right, so where are my, just a little glue there. You can't really see it, and it would, I can see it a bit, but it would dry clear, but I might as well take it off, right? Okay. Seems like that's a little bit, could be moved sideways a little bit there. There we go. Get that on there. Clean my fingers. You always seem like you're gonna get glue no matter what if you're using it on your fingers, no matter how careful you are. Okay, I'm gonna use this to get my charms, and I'm gonna try my charms with the Alina Tacky Glue as well, and see how they do. E-Thick 6000 I have, and it definitely with metal will work. But let's see what that does with the tacky glue. Actually, as I'm doing this, I'm thinking maybe we should use some E6000 because this is the cover, and we certainly do not want them coming off, do we? I have this. It's actually B7000. It's the same as E6000. I just happened to get it off of Temu. And not price. It had nothing to do with the price, but I like this little tip it had on the end. So that's why I got it, and I am liking that. You can do finer lines on tiny items like this, right? Okay. That's what I liked about it. I'm sure if I really looked, I could probably find something that E6000 may have to get that fine tip. But I haven't found it yet, but I'm sure they probably would have something that you can add to the top of the lid. I just haven't come across it. Okay, there we go. But I do absolutely love E6000 glue. It is so versatile for gluing things that are not the same, like wood to metal and plastic to wood or whatever. It's great. It's a little stinky, but I don't mind. It doesn't, it's only when you're applying it, when it dries and stuff, that smell is not there. It goes away. So, and it's quite an affordable and easy found glue. That's the other thing. Most hardware stores, Walmarts, they will have E6000. So that's another bonus with E6000 is you don't have to go searching for it. It's readily available. Okay. And it dries clear, which is great. I'm getting it all over my fingers in the moment. But surprise, surprise on that, huh? Okay, let's put them about there. Okay, it'll take a little bit to dry completely, but that's okay. I'll just use a baby wipe here to get that glue off my fingers. There we go. Doesn't that look just adorable? Adorable, adorable. So now I gotta get that. There we go. Put that away. Whoop. Dropping things over here. Little cubby has a little bead holder that I use. I use this a lot with small beads when I'm getting them out, or with embossing powder it works as well. Can't even remember where I got it, unfortunately. Now I don't, but I know I got it not online. That's all I know. All right, so now we're going to take this and we're going to glue it right on top like that. So I'm going to keep the side open as a pocket. So I just had used some packaging in the back to sew over top, sew the fabric onto to give it a little more structure. Heaviness. Okay. I don't want to. Did I do that on the right side? Yes. No. Look at that. You know what it is? I'm left-handed, so I automatically, I'm sure right-handed people do it too, on whichever side. When you're putting glue on, and if you're not paying attention, you tend to go one side over the other one, because it's just naturally, without thinking, that's what your mind wants to do. So I want it on this side, not this side. So we'll just wipe that all off. There, I think I got it all. And then just put it on the proper side. Here we go. And we'll just get it all glued on. And think about, well, we want to put our pockets on the inside as well. And then I have an idea for what I want to put in for a tag in the pocket. Let's make sure we get this well centered. I want it a little over, just so it has room with the tag. So right about there. Okay, open that up. Get that glued down. Press it down good. Oh, that is so cute. So, so cute. All right. So let's let this dry a little bit. And this is what I want to use for the tag. This beautiful image. So I don't want to do anything to the back because I want it to be able to write on. So, but I think what I want to do is I'm going to round those corners. I'm going to let this dry for a few minutes before we put the pocket on the inside. And then with this, I want to put a little tabby thing. What I think I want to use is some ribbon. So here's my project bag, or box, which I always keep a box and put things in when I'm doing a project. I've done a video about how I do a project box. And so I think what I want to do is put a little ruffly lace. So these are some of the laces that I just threw in my box that I thought would work good in this. Well, we could always do pom-poms as well, couldn't we? No, that's not going to be what I want. I want to stick with lace, and I think like this lace is beautiful. We're definitely going to use it, but it's much too wide. So I have this little piece, this not too wide piece. So I think I'm going to use it. Yeah, that's it. We're going to use that. Now I could sew that. I'm going to try gluing it, just gluing it. But first, let's round those corners off. I think it'll be nicer with round corners. Yeah. I do like the rounder corners. Oh, except maybe I'm thinking I should make them a little bit larger. So we're just going to put it in the larger one and take a little more off. Well, that one doesn't want to work. It's because I didn't have it in properly. That's why. Oh, there we go again. Come on. My skills. Well, I'm going to just round that with my scissors because it's going to get caught in there. So we'll just take that off here. Oh, it's going to slip off. Yeah. just hanging on by a super thin thread of paper. There we go. All right, and let's get rid of this, and let's also ink it. Yeah, oh, I like that. Wild honey on there just is perfect. Yeah. That works great. Okay. Now, do you want it all along or just a piece of it? Like all along. No, I think I just want to do the top from here to here sort of thing. But first I want to just make this even. And then I want it to go this way. Oh, we got to use this end then, because there is a back and front to this. So we'll use this end. I'm just going to even that out a tiny bit. And that's all it needs. And I'm going to just run some glue along the edge here. And then we'll finger ruffle it. Maybe about there. Might be good. Let's see how it works. So let's just... I gotta turn it to see it better. Onto itself. Put a little bit of glue along here, along the lace that I'm folding it onto. There we go. Again, let's do a little bit. Fold it on. So it's more, it's gonna ruffle, but not the same as if you were using a sewing machine, but just as pretty. Okay. This was a little more to it than I thought it was gonna be, but it's fine. Just put a little glue on, ruffle it up. There we go. And we'll put a little more glue down here. Somehow we got that cut up already. Then we'll put a little bit there, and then we'll put a little glue. And then I think we'll put one more, just so it's on this, just under the bee's butt. Okay, and then a little glue here, and then it shall be done. And we'll just cut it off. Have to lay it down probably. Yeah, we'll have to. Whoop. Again, I'm left-handed, so I like to work sideways on project. Seems to work the best for me. Okay, and then we'll just cut that off. Put a little glue to keep it down. There we go. Oh, that looks really cute. Okay. So we still got quite a bit of that lace that we can use inside the book, perhaps. So let's see what this looks like sliding into our pocket, shall we? Hopefully this is dry enough now to be playing with it. It should dry a little longer, but you should be able to see what this looks like. Oh, yes. So we could leave it so the lace is shown out like that, or we can put it in further and just have tip of the lace showing. There we go. Yeah. I don't want to push it in too much till it's dry. But yes, that's going to work perfectly. Isn't that cute? Yeah, I like it. And then you can just pull it out like that. Okay, that's going to work really good. I'm going to just let that dry more. But the last step we need to do is get our pocket in here. And then our cover shall be complete. And I'm not sure, that's why I could have perhaps sewn in between and put some ribbon or ties of some kind. But I'm not sure if I want ties or if I want to use perhaps chain, something in that, something like that, I should say, like chain instead of with ribbon or rope or whatever. So I'm going to just think about that, and then I'll add it after. Let's see. All right, so again, we just have to put glue. Let's see where we need our glue. Up here. Glue it like that. So we want our glue right there, all the way down. And then we're going to glue around the... I'm going to just stick that down right now. And then over on this side, we want our glue right about here, all the way down. I think I'll just get this all done along the bottom as well. And then we can just let it dry. There we go. All right. So that should be able to bend in and bend in. And then we'll be putting, I think, at least 2, if not 3 signatures in the middle. I might do 3 small signatures is what we'll do instead of 2 big signatures. I think that might look the nicest. And then we'll have a pocket on each side, which is perfect. And then that is the front. That just is so lovely. It worked out really well. For sure. Okay, so that is it for the cover today, guys. So we'll continue on in the next video, and we will get our papers organized for what we want inside of the journal and go from there. So for now, I want you all to have a lovely, lovely day, as always, and a very, very crafty day. And we will see and talk to you soon. Bye for now.